Hello guys, welcome back, and in this video I want to show you how to use media queries. So media queries are simply CSS components that help you to style for different devices, all right? So for example, now we have our navbar here, but if I go and do something like this, if I stretch these things, inwards like this, you see it looks very bad, and that is what basically it will look on a mobile device or a tablet device. So media query gives you the power to design for specific devices such that when the user changes to maybe a mobile phone, a tablet is able to see the design that you specified for that device. So without further ado, let us dive in and see how to do this. So very first thing, I'm going to design this navbar, and then you can be able to apply this for any case that you want. So what I'm going to do, let us just start to play around and see what we'll have here. So let us say media. So you have to use this media keyword, and then for the current CSS, for the latest version of CSS, usually before the current version of CSS, you had to say and I don't know and screen to specify different parameters. But for now, as long as you're saying at media, then just inside here you can say at the maximum width of the maximum width. If it is 768 pixel, I want something to happen. This will mean starting from 0 until 768, this style will be applied, and going onwards from 769, 770 going onwards, this style won't be applied. So for example, now we can just start by saying that I want the background color of my link below 768 to be, let us say, can say maybe, let us say for now, gray. So when I set the max width at 768, that is, I want this style to be applied when the max width is that. So let us try this and see. So I'll just pull up my inspect here. So I've pulled up my inspect here. And so this is the width that is displayed here. So let us try and go below 768. All right, let me just refresh this first. Why is this doing this? All right, let's try go below 768. As you can see, the color now is the background color is gray. If I go and go until I reach, let's go until we reach 760. Look here the width. When the width reaches 768 and you extend, it reverts to the normal color. So what that means is that I can be able to style this navbar to appear specifically in a certain way for these small devices. So what we can do now, for the max width, we have specified that. We can also say that, for example, we can clear the float, all right? We can clear the float. And if you remember, I've taught you how to clear the float or to remove the float. And then I can say the width be 100%. I can say the padding for this case for now just to be 0px, all right? And also doing here, can also say that text align should be center. And then I can also say that the margin left should be negative 20px. Let's try this and see. So if I go back here, all right, let's do a refresh. So this is what you have. You can see already it is looking cool, and I've just done, a couple of very simple things. As you can see now, if I in small devices, it will appear like that. So what we can do also, we can give this margin top, margin bottom, or other padding top, padding bottom. We can say it is 5px. We can just leave it at this. This is okay for now. Let's refresh and see. It's already looking good. As you can see now, there's some padding there, and if I stretch until I reach 769, it converts to, to the normal styling that I've specified. But if I'm on small devices, you can see this is how it will appear. And so something else about media queries that I want you to check out is that it is not that you can just apply one width like this. You can also specify that, for example, you want a range of minimum width to maximum width. You can say if the minimum width is maybe 500 px, all right, and the maximum width is 768, then apply this styling. So this styling will only be applied on that range. So now if I go back, I need to refresh here. I need to open my inspector tool very first. So now if I open my inspector tool, as you can see now from 555, this style is not is applied. But if I go below, I believe I've set for 500. Let me just confirm. Yeah, if I go below 500, this style won't be applied. As you can see, this is below 500. And if I stretch until I reach, just observe the width. Exactly. When I reach 500, it is applied. And when I go up to 768, it is applied. When I go beyond 768, it is not applied. So again, I can be able to, I can be able to use a shorthand form of this, and that will be just to use one, bracket like this and say 5px, say the width, if it is the width should be greater than 5px and should be less than 768px. All right, then I can just remove all this jargon on this other side like this. If I do this now, it will do the same thing that we have done here. So let's go back here. So if I go back now, as you can see, it is the same thing beyond 768 like that. Yeah. So I can also be able to just say, if the width is less than 768, which will mean the maximum width is 768. The same thing that we had done, prior. So if I do a refresh here like that, you can see now below 768, this style is applying. I stretch, I reach 768, it changes. So that is one thing that you can be able to do with media query. You can be able to apply styling for specific ranges and specific width of your devices. And then the other thing is that you can be able to apply. Yeah, I believe there is, if I'm not wrong, there is orientation. So you can say if the orientation is portrait, do this. I can just now use, for example, the background color just to show you this. The orientation is portrait. I believe there's something like that. Let's try and see. The background color should be red. So if I go back here, let's do a refresh and see. It seems I've mistaken here. Let me just go back here. This should be portrait, not portrait. So if I go back here, as you can see now on portrait device, the orientation is or the color is is red. But if I switch back, to the portrait, the color is red. But if I want to specify the landscape, I can say, if I go back, I can just copy this guy here and I can specify the style for the landscape. So like this. Then I can say if it is landscape and skip, the color should be, let's see, let's put blue for now just to see this. Let's do a refresh here. All right, there it is. If the orientation is landscape, that is the normal, the normal web page orientation. But now if you turn the device, then the color will appear to be to be read. So that is it with the queries, guys. I hope you have understood how you can be able to apply different style for different devices, and just make sure that you're giving good user experience to your users.